So the themes for the week are, the first one is our production possibilities frontier, the very first model we're really going to look at in macroeconomics. It is useful for understanding an economy's capacity, and we start by looking at individuals' budget constraints, which are basically the same thing as a capacity. And then we'll look at GDP, which is the main measure of the size of our economy. So we want to think about, is it a good measure? Is it not a good measure? And by the way, GDP is one of the three main macroeconomic measurements that we'll be using. GDP, and then also unemployment and inflation. So to track with that, we have the usual reading from OpenStax, some play pause videos, actually just one longer one this week, and then the Achieve assignments, the pre-class tutorials, the bridge questions, and the homeworks. And they will come from both Chapter 2 and Chapter 6, or as it's called in OpenStax, Chapter 19, which is the GDP chapter. And next week we'll take a pause before we jump into the main macroeconomic modeling, and we'll look at what causes economic growth in the long run, and also what happens when you have rising inequality. So, in honor of that, next week we'll be watching Inequality for All. If you have not yet seen Inequality for All, it's a great documentary by Robert Reich out of Berkeley, and it looks at sort of the technical macroeconomic critiques of rising inequality and some of the policy causes of it and some of the policy solutions. So it's a good overview of the non-moral reasons to be concerned about rising inequality.
My name is Stella, and I'm not scary. Shut up.
And don't forget about Thursday morning's optional lecture.